digestive gland. In last class, the two types of digestive glands are present. Over in last class. Okay, salivary glands is over. Salivary glands, with gastric gland, and intestinal gland. Intestinal gland, liver, pancreas. Okay. So these are digestive glands. First one, salivary gland. Second one, gastric gland. Third one, intestinal glands. Okay. Next, fourth one, liver. And fifth one, pancreas. In last class, salivary glands and gastric glands is over. Okay. Next, come to the intestinal glands. Come to the intestinal gland. This is most important bit. Right. Intestinal gland. Intestinal glands, two types. Brunner's glands and Krebs of labor. Brunner's gland. And Krebs of labor. Okay. Brunner's glands and Krebs of labor. Okay. So two types. The secretions of Brunner's glands and Krebs of labor. Okay. Is called intestinal juice. The secretions of Brunner's glands and Krebs of labor is called intestinal juice. Okay. It's called intestinal intestinal. Intestinal juice is also called succus centric. Intestinal juice is also called succus centric. Okay. Intestinal juice is also called succus centricus. The pH value of intestinal juice or succus centricus. The pH value of intestinal juice are succus centricus 7.3 to 7.5. 7.3. 7.3 to 7.5. Okay, so this is the pH value of succus centricus or intestinal juice about 7.3 to 7.5. This is most important bit. Okay, right. Next, in the intestinal juice or succus centricus. Okay, so how many types of enzymes are present in the intestinal juice or succus centricus? Okay, so first one come to the next one come to the enzymes in the intestinal juice or succus centricus. Enzyme, enzyme. Okay, so first one enterokinase. 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 Next, second one aminopeptide. 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 Next, maltase, sucrase, lactase. Maltase. Next, intestinal lipase. Intestinal lipase. Okay. Next, fourth one. Next, fourth one. Maltase, sucrase, lactase. Maltase, sucrase, lactase, lactase. Okay. Lactase. So these six types of enzymes are present in the intestinal juice or succus centricus. Intestinal juice or succus centricus. First one enterokinase. Next, aminopeptidase. Next, intestinal lipase, maltase, sucrase, lactase. Okay. These maltase, sucrase, lactase. These three are collectively called disaccharidases. Disaccharide. So these three. Next, disaccharide. Okay. Next one, kuda seventh one. Seventh one. Seventh one. Tripeptidase. Dipeptidase. Tripeptidase. Dipeptidase. Okay. So these enzymes are present in the intestinal. Okay. 8 types of enzymes are present in the intestinal juice. Okay. This is most important bit. Ah, these two are collectively called peptidases. Peptidases. These two are collectively called peptidases. Peptidases. Next, these three are collectively called okay, disaccharidases. Okay, disaccharidases. Okay, disaccharidases. 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 Maltase, sucrase, lactase are collectively called disaccharidases and tripeptidase, dipeptidase. Both are collectively called peptidases. Both are collectively called peptidases. Okay. So, 8 types of enzymes are present in the intestinal juice or succus ventricles. Succus ventricles. The pH value about 7.3 to 7.5. Okay. Right. Next, in out of 8 types of enzymes, enterokinase is acts as a enzyme activator. So this is acts as a enzyme activator. Enzyme activator. Okay. So this one is acts as a enzyme activator. This is most important bit. Okay. So why enterokinase acts as a enzyme activator? Okay. Why enterokinase acts as a enzyme activator? Okay. So come to the explanation. Okay. Enterokinase converts the trypsinogen into chymotrypsinogen into chymotrypsin. Okay. Enterokinase converts the trypsinogen into trypsin. Okay. This is most important bit. Enterokinase converts the trypsinogen into trypsin. Okay. So enterokinase is acts as a enzyme activator. Enterokinase is acts as a enzyme activator. This is most important bit, Nana. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. So this is over the intestinal gland. Okay. Right. Next, liver. Liver. So come to the liver. The study of liver is called hepatology. And the study of liver. The study of liver. is called hepatology. Hepatology. Okay. Next, liver is considered largest digestive gland in the human body. Okay, largest digestive gland, digestive gland in the human body. Okay, the human body. Okay, right. Liver secretes bile. Liver secretes bile juice. Liver secretes bile juice. This bile juice is stored in gallbladder. This bile juice is stored, okay, stored in gallbladder. Okay, bile juice is stored in gallbladder. Okay, right. Liver secretes bile juice. This bile juice is stored in gallbladder. Okay, right. Next, in the liver, two types of components are present. Okay? In the liver, enzymes are absent. Okay, so this is most important bit. Enzymes, enzymes are absent. Okay, so in the in the bile juice, enzymes are absent. So, correct. In the bile juice, enzymes are absent. In the bile juice, enzymes are absent. Next, in the bile juice, two types of components are present. Okay, in the bile juice, two types of components are present. Bile pigments and bile salts. Bile, bile pigments and bile salts. Bile, okay. Bile pigments are again divided into two types. Okay, bile pigments are again divided into two types. Okay, bile, bile pigment and biliverdin. Bile, bilirubin and biliverdin. Okay, bilirubin is a yellow colored pigment. Is a yellow colored pigment. It is green colored pigment. Bilirubin is a yellow colored pigment and biliverdin is a green colored pigment. Green colored pigment. Okay, like this. So these bile pigments. Okay, bile pigments expel outside through excretory product. Bile pigments expelled outside through excretory product. So our excreta, nothing but excretory product appear in yellow or greenish color. Yellow or greenish color. Okay, right. So this is the about bile. When bile pigments are enters into blood circulation, so that person is considered jaundice person. When bile pigments are enters into blood circulation, that person is considered jaundice person. What is the main symptom in jaundice person? White parts are appear yellow or greenish color. White parts. What are white parts? Eyes and nails. Okay. So white parts are appear in yellow or greenish color. Okay. Next, loss of appetite. Okay. So loss of appetite. So these are main symptoms in jaundice person. Okay. So next, bile salts. So these bile salts are useful for emulsification. These bile salts two types. The types of bile salts are again divided into two types. Okay, sodium glycocolate and tarocolate of sodium and potassium. Okay, so glycocolate and tarocolate. Glycocolate and tarocolate of sodium. Glycocolate and tarocolate. Tarocolate. of sodium, which means sodium glycocholate and sodium tarocholate. Sodium glycocholate to sodium tarocholate. Okay, right. Next, glycocholate and tarocholate of potassium. So, glycocholate and tarocholate. Okay, tarocholate of potassium. Okay, so potassium, which means potassium glycocholate and potassium tarocholate. Okay, so these bile salts protect. Okay, glycocholate and tarocholate of sodium and glycocholate and tarocholate of potassium. Okay, so what is the main function of bile salts? Bile salts are useful for emulsification of fat. Bile salts are useful for emulsification of fat. Okay, so emulsification of fat. What is the emulsification? The breakdown of macrolipid into microlipid. The breakdown of macrolipid into microlipid. The breakdown, okay, the breakdown of macrolipid into microlipid. Microlipid. Okay, it's called emulsification. For the emulsification reaction, bile salts are required. For the emulsification reaction, bile salts are required. Okay, so this is liver. Okay, next, liver contain two lobes. Okay, liver contain two lobes, right and left lobe. Right and left lobe. Uh, liver contain two lobes. Okay, so two lobes. Two, right and left lobe. Each lobe of liver contain two lobes. Each lobe of liver is made up of number of lobes. Each lobe is made up of number of lobules. Number of lobules. Each lobe of liver is made up of number of lobules. These are called hepatic lobes. These are called hepatic lobes. Hepatic lobule. Okay. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Each lobe of liver is made up of number of lobules. These lobules are called hepatic lobules. These lobules are called hepatic lobules. Hepatic lobules are considered structural. Hepatic lobules are considered structural and functional unit of liver. Hepatic lobules are considered structural and functional unit of liver. Okay. Right. Hepatic lobules are considered point. Hepatic lobules are considered structural and functional unit of, okay, structural and functional unit of liver. Functional, functional unit, unit of structural and functional unit of liver. Okay, right. This is it. Next, this is the hepatic. Next, come to the structure of hepatic. Along the hepatic. This is the structure of hepatic. This is it is hepatos. Listen class. Okay, right. Hepatocyte. Hepatocyte. Listen capsule. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ the shape of this is the structure of hepatic. This is sinusoid. This is the sinusoid. Sinusoid. Okay, right. It is central vein. It is central vein. Central. ఇప్పుడు చూడు ఇక్కడ the shape of hepatic lobule hexagonal shape. Okay, hexagonal shape. Each hepatic lobule is made up of number of hepatic cords. Number of hepatic cords. One, two, one, two, three, four, five, six. So many hepatic cords. Each hepatic lobule is made up of number of hepatic cords. Hepatic cords. It is hepatic cords. Insert ఏమంటారు? Complete structure is called hepatic. Hepatic. Oh, okay. It is another hepatic cord, another hepatic cord, another one, another one, another one. Okay. Each hepatic lobule is made up of number of hepatic cord. What is hepatic cord? A single row of hepatocytes. A single row of hepatocytes. A single row. A single row of hepatocytes is called hepatic cord. Okay. A single row of hepatocytes is called hepatic cord. This is most important bit అమ్మా ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. A single row of hepatocytes is called hepatic cord. Okay. Right. Next, at the center of hepatic lobule, at the center of hepatic lobule, the central vein is present. It is central. Around the central vein, around the central vein, number of hepatic cords are present. Around the central vein, number of hepatic cords are present. Okay. Right. Next, between two hepatic cord, between two any two hepatic cord, between two any two hepatic cord. Okay, so a fluid is present. So this is called sinusoid. This is most important. Petama. Okay, so between two hepatic cords, a jelly-like fluid is present between two hepatic cords. A jelly-like fluid is present. A jelly-like fluid is present between two hepatic cords. This is called sinusoid. This is called sinusoid. Okay, right. Sinusoid. Okay. Next one. Around the hepatic lobule, Glissen's capsule. This one is a Glissen's. Glissen's capsule is made up of a connective tissue layer. Glissen's capsule is made up of a connective tissue layer. Okay, around the hepatic lobule, a Glissen's capsule is. This one is Glissen's capsule. This one is Glissen's capsule. This Glissen's capsule is made up of that connective tissue layer. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. నాట్ ఎపిథెలియల్ సెల్స్, కనెక్టివ్ టిష్యూ. లిసన్ మేడ్ అప్ ఆఫ్ కనెక్టివ్ టిష్యూ లేదా కనెక్టివ్ టిష్యూ లేదా ఓకే, connective tissue layer. Okay, right. This is over the about the structure of hepatic lobule. Okay, right. Next one, చెప్పాను కదా, structural and functional unit of liver is called hepatic lobule. Okay, ఇంద రాస్తాం ఇక్కడ కూడా. Okay, each hepatic lobule is made up of number of hepatic cords. Okay, what is hepatic cord? A single row of hepatocytes. Single row of hepatocytes is called hepatic cord. Okay, right. Now, between two hepatic cord, a jelly-like fluid is present that is called synovium. Okay, at the center of hepatic lobule, central vein is present. Central vein is present. Next one, around the hepatic lobule, a Glisson capsule is present. This one is Glisson capsule. Glisson capsule. This Glisson capsule is made up of connective tissue layer. Connective tissue layer. Okay. Right. Next one, the weight of liver about 1.2 to 1.5 kg. Okay. The weight of liver. Okay. Weight of liver 1.2 to 1.5 kg. 1.2 to 1.5 kg. Okay, right. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. So which means 1200 grams to 1500 grams. 1200 grams to 1500 grams. Okay, right. This is both the weight of liver. Okay. This is a detailed account of liver. Next, what is the location of liver? Just below the diaphragm in the right side of abdominal cavity. ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది ఖచ్చితంగా. So this is the diaphragm. This is diaphragm. What is the diaphragm? A transverse layer which divides the anterior thoracic cavity and posterior abdominal cavity. ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది ఒక లేయర్ ఉంటుంది. Okay, a transverse layer which divides the anterior thoracic cavity and posterior abdominal cavity. This is called diaphragm. This is called diaphragm. Okay. So just below the diaphragm in the right side of abdominal cavity. Just below the diaphragm in the right side of abdominal cavity. That is the location of liver. That is the location of liver. Okay. Right. So this is over the detailed account of liver. Next come to the back. What is the location of pancreas? What is the location of pancreas? In the U-shaped duodenum. Okay. In the loop of U-shaped duodenum. U-shaped duodenum. Okay. In the U-shaped duodenum. In the U-shaped duodenum. That is the location of pancreas. Pancreas is considered second largest digestive gland. First largest digestive gland in the human body, liver. First largest digestive gland in the human body, liver. Second largest digestive gland in the human body, pancreas. Okay. So what is the location of pancreas? In the U-shaped duodenum. Okay. Right. Next, come to the pancreas. Like, so this pancreas contains two parts. Pancreas contains two parts. Exocrine part. exocrine part and endocrine part. And endocrine part. Exocrine part and endocrine part. Okay. The exocrine part contain duct. Exocrine part contain duct. Duct. Endocrine part without duct. Okay. Without duct or ductless. Okay. Without duct. Without duct or ductless. Okay. Without ducts or ductless. Ductless. Okay. Right. Next, the exocrine part made up of exocrine part made up of SNR cell. SNR, SNR. Okay. So these SNR cells secrete SNR cells secrete enzyme. SNR cells secretes enzymes. Okay. Right. So ఒక మాటలో చెప్పాలంటే exocrine part secretes enzyme which are contained ducts. This is contained ducts. Okay. Exocrine part secretes enzymes. This exocrine part consists of ducts. Okay. Right. Next, endocrine part. Endocrine part without ducts or ductless. Okay. So ducts are absent in the endocrine. Okay. So this is ductless or without ducts. Okay. Next, endocrine part is made up of endocrine part is made up of islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. Right. Each islet of Langerhans is made up of two types of cells. Each islet of Langerhans made up of two types of okay. two types of okay. Alpha cells and beta. First one alpha cell. Next second one beta cells. Okay. Second one beta cells. Alpha cells secretes glucagon hormone. Alpha cells secretes glucagon. Beta cells secretes insulin hormone. Beta cells secretes insulin hormone. Okay. Alpha cells secretes glucagon hormone and beta cells secretes insulin hormone. What is the main function of glucagon? Increases the blood glucose level. Okay. Glucagon hormone increases the, so this is the symbol of increase. Increases the blood glucose level. Okay. So glucagon hormone increases the blood glucose level. Next, insulin hormone decreases the blood glucose level. Okay. So right. Glucagon hormone increases the blood glucose level. So glucagon hormone is also called hyperglycemic hormone. Glucagon hormone is also called hyperglycemic. Increase చేస్తుంది కదా. So increases the blood glucose level. So glucagon hormone is also called hyperglycemic hormone. Hyperglycemic hormone. Hyperglycemic hormone. Next, insulin hormone decreases the blood glucose. So insulin hormone is also called hypo. Hypo means a decrease. Hypoglycemic. Hypo, hypoglycemic Okay. Hypoglycemic. Okay. Right. So ఒకటేమో పెంచేస్తుంది బాగా, గ్లూకగన్ హార్మోన్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తే బ్లడ్ గ్లూకోజ్ లెవెల్, ఇన్సులిన్ హార్మోన్ డిక్రీజ్ చేస్తే బ్లడ్ గ్లూకోజ్ లెవెల్. సో దీస్ టూ హార్మోన్స్ యూస్ఫుల్ ఫర్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ ఆఫ్ గ్లూకోజ్ లెవెల్స్ ఇన్ ద బ్లడ్. ఒకటేమో పెంచేస్తుంది, ఒకటేమో తగ్గిస్తుంది. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? ఒకటి పెంచుతుంది, ఒకటి తగ్గిస్తుంది. ఒకటి పెంచడం, ఒకటి తగ్గడం. కాబట్టి దీస్ టూ హార్మోన్స్ యూస్ఫుల్ ఫర్ maintaining the balance of glucose level. Maintaining the balance of glucose levels in the blood. Okay. So these two hormones useful for maintaining the balance of glucose level. Balance of glucose level. Okay. Balance of glucose level in the blood. In the blood. Okay. So, right. Next, the balance of glucose level in the blood is called homeostasis of blood. Okay, indirect గా అడుగుతాడు. Okay, the balance of glucose levels in the blood is called homeostasis of blood. Homeostasis. Homeostasis. Homeostasis of glucose. Glucose. Glucose level. Glucose level. Okay. The balance of glucose levels in the blood is called homeostasis of glucose level. Homeostasis of glucose level. Okay. This is most important bit. So these two hormones are useful for maintaining the balance of glucose levels in the blood or homeostasis of glucose levels in the blood. Homeostasis of glucose levels in the blood. So this is indirect terminology. Okay. So this is over the detailed account of pancreas. Okay. Note చేసుకోండి. So pancreas is also called exocrine and endocrine part. Okay. So because of pancreas contain both exocrine part and endocrine part. So pancreas is also called exo and endocrine gland. Pancreas is also called exo and endocrine. Exo and endocrine gland. Endocrine. Okay. Exo and endocrine. Okay. Right. బానే ఉంది అది. Next. Exocrine part contain ducts, endocrine part without ducts, right? So pancreas is also called duct and ductless gland. Pancreas is also called duct and ductless gland. Okay? Duct and ductless gland. Ductless gland. Okay? ఈ విధంగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Pancreas is also called exo and endocrine gland. Okay. Next, pancreas is also called duct and ductless gland. Duct and ductless gland. Okay, right. Next, to come to the అట్లే ఓటింది. Deficiency of insulin hormone leads to diabetic mellitus. deficiency of insulin hormone. Most important bit అనేది deficiency of insulin hormone leads to deficiency of insulin leads to diabetic mellitus. Okay. So, diabetes mellitus. Okay. So this is most important bit. Deficiency of insulin leads to diabetes mellitus. Okay. What is the main symptoms in diabetes mellitus? Most important bit గుర్తుపెట్టుకునేది deficiency of insulin leads to diabetes mellitus. Okay. What is the main symptom in diabetes mellitus? Expulsion of glucose through urinal. Expulsion of glucose through urinals. It is the main symptom in diabetes. Okay. So expulsion of glucose. Expulsion. Okay. So of expulsion of glucose. Expulsion of glucose through urinal. Through urinal. Expulsion of glucose through urinal. Okay. So the expulsion of glucose through urinals is called దానికి ఒక టర్మ్ ఉంది గ్లూకోజ్ is called glucose okay, right. This is the main silent feature in diabetes mellitus, the expulsion of glucose through urinals. The expulsion of glucose through urinals is called glucosuria. Glucose urea ద్వారా బయటికి పోతుంది కదా. Okay. So through the urinals glucose expelled outside. So it is called glucosuria. Okay. So this is the glucosuria is the main silent feature in the disease of diabetes mellitus. Glucosuria is the main silent feature in the disease of diabetes mellitus. Okay. This point you remember, don't forget it. What is glucosuria? The expulsion of glucose through urinals is called glucosuria. Okay. So this is over the detail account about pancreas. Next to come to the enzymes. Exocrine part is made up of SNR cells. These SNR cells secrete the enzymes. How many enzymes are present? అది కూడా తెలుసుకోవాలి మనం. Okay, how many enzymes are present in the pancreatic juice? Come to the enzymes in the pancreatic enzymes. Come to the enzymes in the pancreas. First one, amylase, pancreatic amylase. Next, trypsinogen, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, carboxypeptidase, carboxypeptidase, peptidase, carboxypeptidase. Okay. Next, pancreatic lipase, pancreatic lipase, pancreatic lipase. DNA is nucleotidase, nucleotidase, nucleotidase. Okay. Next, nucleosidase, nucleosidase, nucleosidase. Okay. DNAs and RNA. Okay. DNA and RNA. RNA. Okay. RNA. So these are 9 types of enzymes present in pancreatic juice. 9 types of enzymes are present in pancreatic juice. Okay. So pancreatic amylase, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, carboxypeptidase, pancreatic lipase, nucleotidase, nucleosidase, DNAase, and ninth one RNAase. Okay, so RNA. Okay, so 9 types of enzymes are present in the 9 types of enzymes are present in the pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice. Okay, right. Aite in out of 9 types of enzymes, okay, proenzymes are present. Proenzymes is nothing but inactive enzymes. Proenzyme is nothing but inactive enzymes. What are they? Trypsinogen, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, okay, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen. Next, these two are proenzymes. These two are proenzymes. Okay, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ పెట్టాను ఇది. Trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen. These two are proenzymes. Proenzymes. Mari, what is proenzymes? Inactive enzymes is nothing but proenzymes. Inactive, inactive, inactive enzymes is called proenzymes. Okay, so this is over the detailed account of pancreas. Okay, so next, digestion. Next, digestion. What is digestion? First point. The process of conversion of macro food molecules into micro food molecules for absorption. For absorption. Okay. The process of conversion of macro food molecules into micro food molecules for absorption with the help of enzymes. With the help of enzymes. It's called digestion. Okay. In human beings, digestion is extracellular digestion. Okay. In human beings, digestion is extra, extracellular digestion. Okay. Extracellular. What is extracellular digestion? Digestion occur outside of the cell. Digestion occur outside of the cell. It's called extracellular digestion. Okay. Extracellular digestion is a high level of character. High level of character. Okay. But intracellular digestion. What is intracellular digestion? Digestion occur within the cell. Digestion occur within the cell. It's called it is digestion. It is cell. It is cell. Digestion occur within the cell. It's called intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion. Okay. Next, intracellular digestion is a primitive character. So, intracellular digestion. So, intracellular cellular digestion is a primitive character. Primitive character. What is primitive character? Low level of character is called primitive character. Low level of character is called primitive character. So, primitive character. Primitive, okay, primitive character. This is most important bit. Next, extracellular digestion. Digestion occur outside of the cell is called extracellular digestion. Extracellular digestion is a high level of them, or higher character. Okay, higher, higher. This is the difference between extracellular digestion and intracellular digestion. Mari, the both extracellular digestion and intracellular digestion is occur in only one phylum. Okay, so what is the name of phylum? Cnidaria. Okay, this is most important bit. Cnidaria. Cnidaria. Okay, so in Cnidaria phyla, the both extracellular digestion and intracellular digestion both are occur in Cnidaria. Example Cnidaria: Hydra. Okay, Aurelia. Aurelia. Okay, so Hydra and Aurelia is commonly called jelly. Jelly. Aurelia is commonly called jellyfish or moon jelly. Jellyfish or moon jelly. Okay, right. So this is Hydra and typical example to Cnidaria, Hydra and Aurelia. Aurelia is also called jellyfish or moon jelly. Okay, so this is most important bit. Nana, the both extracellular digestion and intracellular digestion both are occur in the phylum of Cnidaria. Example to the Cnidaria, Hydra and Aurelia. Okay, Aurelia is commonly called jellyfish and moon jelly. Okay, right. This point to remember. Don't forget. Okay. Next one, digestion in buccal cavity. Digestion in digestion in buccal cavity. Okay. Ah, when food is kept into buccal cavity. Ah, so this food is masticated with the help of teeth. Food is masticated with the help of teeth and tongue. Okay. In this process, saliva is mixed with food. Food is masticated with the help of teeth and tongue. In this process, saliva is mixed with food. Saliva is mixed with food. Okay, right. Next, in the saliva, mucus is present. So this mucus played important role in the formation of bolus. Mucus played important role in the formation of bolus. Okay, so bolus. What is bolus? Bolus అంటే తెలుగులో ముద్ద అంటారు. A ball like cell mass is called bolus. Okay, so a ball like cell mass is called bolus. Okay, so this bolus first time formed in the buccal cavity. Most important buccal cavity. Buccal cavity. Okay, right. Next one. Uh, during the process of mastication, during the process of mastication, saliva mixes with the food. During the process of mastication నమలడం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Mastication అంటే నమలడం. During the process of mastication, saliva is mixes with food. In the saliva, trypsinogen in the saliva, hyaline enzyme is present. Hyaline, hyaline. Okay. In the saliva, hyaline enzyme is present. Okay. So, this hyaline acts on starch. This hyaline is acts on starch, which are digested into dextrin and maltose. Dextrin and maltose. Dextrin and maltose. With the help of fluoride. Okay. So hyaline acts on starch, which are digested into dextrin and maltose. With the help of fluoride. With the help of fluoride. Okay. Right. Okay. This Thailand is also called salivary amylase. This Thailand enzyme is also called salivary salivary amylase. Salivary. am- So Thailand